Hey, what's up, everybody? Bdf 44 coming at you with another video, doing my grocery shopping thing again, man. Did some stuff over at Traders now, of course, as I always do. Did my little walk as I walk up the hills and stuff like that in Hollywood. Try to keep myself as active as possible as usual, and I feel pretty good doing it. Left out the house a little groggy, but I didn't let it keep me in the house, man, because yesterday I stayed in. I stayed in because I was not 100%. As I was telling you guys, I had met up with a lady named Stacy who was telling me all her business. Remember I was telling you about that? What I forgot to mention is that she was sick. She was recovering from a cold, and she was standing next to me talking in my face and all of that. So what ended up happening later on that night is I woke up and I had what felt like inflamed tonsils. I was like, oh, I know what this is. I've been through this last year around the same time. I was sick. Earlier in the day, I had taken the preventative cough medication that I often buy. So I was like, all right, well, I probably got much more defense for that. I gargled with some, just mouthwash that usually helps the throat, and then proceeded to take some Robitussin that I had left over from last year. And so I woke up yesterday feeling better, because that was like in the wee hours of the night, the following sleep night. So it was like, okay, 3 o'clock in the morning, you wake up, you feel like you're getting sick. Take all the stuff, go back to sleep, wake up. Felt pretty much good. But it was one of those things where it's like, you know what, whatever it is I have, let me just make sure I'm not going out compounding it. Make sure that I'm not giving it to nobody else. So I'm just going to stay in the house. That's what I did. I stayed in yesterday. And, it's wild how things work. It was one of the situations where God was telling me, more or less, after I had gotten up, did all my exercise, working out, I was meditating. And what came to mind was, you should probably say hi to the people at the front desk. Give them a call and just say hi, tell my homegirl hi. That's what the Lord was telling me. Like, you should reach out to her. I was like, why in the heck would I do that? I don't have nothing to say. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna follow the voice. So I gave her a call and told her, have a good day, and then proceeded to tell her that I had been sick. And she said, somebody just left some oranges here. I'm gonna bring them to your door. And it was like one of those situations where, it was almost like the Lord was saying, hey, look, she has these for you. This is going to get you back to 100% right away if you eat those oranges that she's going to give you. So following that voice, she ended up having something directly that I needed. And what made it even really more strange is how good the oranges were. Like, okay, somebody give you some oranges, fine. These were the best oranges I literally ever tasted in my life. No exaggeration. And she gave me 5 of them. I ate 4 of them. All of them were perfect. It was the weirdest thing. It was like they came from a tree of heaven or something. I don't know, man. But, she had suggested, she was like, hey, watch some good movies for me. I'm like, you know what? I haven't watched literally a movie in a very long time, because I'm always watching everything having to do with basketball and content. In this era, it's not a whole lot of fiction in my life. So I'm like, you know what? Val Kilmer just passed away. It's one of my favorite movies. I'm going to watch Tombstone. So that's what I did. I watched Tombstone yesterday and enjoyed it as usual. And, ate those oranges and was 100%. By the time I woke up this morning, I didn't feel nothing. 100%. And so that was just a very interesting situation where you follow that voice. It tells you, hey, do this, and you do it, and then you end up with something that you had no intention of having, and it kind of molds your day for the rest of the day. By the time the movie ended, got up, showered, did all the food stuff, and then it was time for the Lakers to start. Watched the Laker game. Of course, the game didn't necessarily go our way, but I made some content, ended up going to sleep, and that was my night. So following that voice worked out for me once again. I had no idea she had oranges for me. That person dropped oranges off at the front desk randomly when I just so happened to probably need them to get 100%. She could have gave them oranges to anybody, but because I called and told her I had been sick, she had somebody to give them to. So it was like all that just lined up, and it was supposed to. And like I said, she gave me 5 oranges. I ate 4 of them. I still got 1 left. Them the best oranges I've ever had, man. I kid you not. And they're like mini oranges, more like tangerines, but a little bigger than tangerines, so they are actual oranges. Whatever the case may be, they were like, just, I don't know, man. Something about that tree it came off of, I don't know. I never had oranges taste better in my life, never. And so that was that was exactly how that went, man. Very fortuitous, very blessed. And I was very thankful that she brought those up. And I told her, I was like, look, leave them at the door. I'm not opening the door. I'll give you a call to let you know I got them from the door, and I'm making sure you're gonna, so you don't actually exchange anything with me, because I don't want you to get sick. I don't want you to even be at risk for this in no kind of way. So that's how that went. Never actually saw her, but I heard her when she knocked on the door, and I gave her a call as soon as I grabbed them. So it was all good, man. Really good day yesterday, blessed day. And today has been pretty good for the most part. I had no issues at all, really. Got up this morning, did the Pelican Laker video for tonight's game, since they have a back-to-back as usual. And got out the house and proceeded to go to Hollywood right now, man, and just do all the stuff that I normally do. Like I said, I walked that hill. Those hills, actually, there's two of them. As I try to do, I've done that maybe 6 times now this year, maybe 3 times in the last 3 weeks. So, you know, once a week, maybe twice a week is what I want to try to do. Just hit that hill and then working into my walking as I go to Hollywood. The more and more I do it, the more I want to working into the everyday routine of coming down here. So, you know, just trying to get in shape, man, trying to get my exercise going. I'm starting to see myself lose weight a little bit, slimming down in my stomach area and stuff, slowly but surely, weaning off of my the foods that make me sick, you know, that kind of thing. And just learning how to take care of myself in this era a little better. And you guys wouldn't believe this, man, but I started having issues a few days ago with the same stuff, and it turned out it was Gatorade. Gatorade was giving me problems. Whatever they put in the Gatorade, I guess I'm allergic to it now. I don't know, man. That's weird. Remember I was telling you guys that Powerade wasn't the problem, but I ended up getting rid of the Powerade the same time I got rid of the potatoes. So I never actually got to see how my body reacted to the Powerade by itself. And sure enough, the hell is that dude? Sure enough, it became a situation where I ended up having some Gatorade, and I didn't have anything else other than what I knew I could intake without being sick. So I'm like, maybe there is a problem with Gatorade / Powerade. And sure enough, when I eliminated the Powerade, the Gatorade, whatever the hell it is, at this point now I found myself back to square one where I ain't got no problem. So it's like, it was very possible that I was putting 2 things in my body at once that was making me sick. And Powerade / Gatorade is something that I now find that whatever they put in it really does, after all, create problems for my body. So I'm allergic to mostly everything, man. Pretty much anything that tastes good, anything I ever liked as a child, it's all gone. Can't have nothing seasoning, anything that tastes good, it's all bad. And so that's pretty much what it is, man. I'm truly cursed when it comes to that type of thing. But just like anything else, what it does is coerce you. It backs you into eating healthy. It backs you, you know, it's almost like you're forced into being somebody who eats the way that people are probably supposed to eat so that they don't get sick. And so that they can live long. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm allergic to all the stuff that otherwise y'all shouldn't be eating. So I have to look at it. So the stews that I've been eating, fine. You know, as of late. And I said a prayer about beef because I've been eating a lot of beef after going 3-4 years without eating any beef. Now I eat beef with every meal because fish makes my stomach hurt. Chicken broth or whatever, the layover of chicken when it bubbles up, that little white stuff, that makes me sick. So it's like all the stuff I like makes me sick. All the stuff that's supposed to be healthy makes me sick. And I am not a vegetarian. I need some type of protein. And so the Lord said, for the most part, as I meditated, he said, beef will be fine for now, till we figure things out. So I just put a little bit of beef in the food, not too much of it, because I know that it doesn't digest properly naturally, but it seems to be the only thing that my stomach can take in terms of meat right now. That ain't a problem. And everything else literally is. So, you know, it just is what it is, man. But yeah, so Gatorade, I guess that was the only thing outside of my what I've been eating that I can eat that was a problem. It was the only difference. It was like, what else am I mean, everything I got is organic. The potatoes that I purchase are organic. Many potatoes that come straight out off the vine or whatever. All the other stuff is what? Broccoli, green beans, no seasoning. The meat is not seasoned. It's just a cut of beef and that's it. So it's like, what else? You know, oatmeal, bananas, apples. What could possibly be bad? And it was like, what are you drinking? Like, damn it, that's what it was. It was what I was drinking. So it was the Gatorade, Powerade after all that caused problems too, along with the garlic as well. So I mean, you know how it is, man.
Of course you don't know about it. This is
At this point, you just understand that you can't eat what everyone else can eat. So it gets frustrating, but you live with it. You just live with it, you know? And so that's what I'm here to tell y'all, man. We found that the Gatorade is actually a problem after all. To that whole little sequence, thinking it was and then thinking it wasn't, and finding out it was the garlic, and then now we're back to square one. So yeah, man, I just tell you, just as you grow older, just stay in touch with your doctor. That's what I tell everybody. Once you start reaching a certain age, be in tune with your body so you can start being aware of what's going on. Because that's the most important thing. That's a mistake I made going into my 30s. It's not having any doctor's appointments at all, like at all, and just going through my life, stumbling through certain things and guessing and not knowing. You need to be regularly in touch with your doctor. And you know, it's one thing that I think, and we've talked about this a lot, it's just some of the stuff they put in our food is not the same stuff they put in our foods when we were younger. And if people were my age, some of the stuff that they're putting in there now, some of the things they use to doctor it up, some of the chemicals they put in there, for whatever reason, you may be allergic to those chemicals. You may not be allergic to the foods themselves. You may be allergic to the stuff that they put in there. So I don't know if that's part of the problem too. Because I didn't have any allergies as a child. None. I wasn't allergic to anything. And it was weird too, because everybody I knew was allergic to something or had some type of breathing issue or something. You know what I mean? It was always something. I was the one guy who could literally just eat and drink or whatever I wanted, never had any problems. Now it's flipped on its axis. It's upside down in regards to that. And so I don't know what the science is, but I can tell you the one constant, well, the one difference is the stuff they put in your food. That's what the difference is. And the stuff that they put in the chemicals, you know, they put in your food is different now. So that's what I tell people, man. Just stay in touch with your doctor. Know what it is that you can deal with without stumbling into those things. You want somebody to clinically be on top of your health. And with that comes the bills that come with that and all these different things. So to be aware of what your options are as it pertains to who's in control of what when it's time to vote for your health care and all these different things. You want to be knowledgeable about that stuff and vote accordingly, because you want to be able to afford to take care of yourself regardless of what your financial situation is. You want to be able to have health care regardless of what your financial situation is. So these are the type of things you just stumble into. You live, you learn, man. Stuff wasn't important when I was a kid. It is now. I wish I would have been knowledgeable and having somebody school me on these things as a kid. So, you know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. You teach your kids these things. Take care of their health. Value that stuff in your 20s. And as you get older, you don't have any surprises popping up. You don't have any issues. You know what you can do. You know what you cannot. And when it comes to medication, just always be aware that that's a business in and of itself. And not all medication is meant to make you well. It's meant to make you hooked. It's not necessarily meant to treat a problem, but more so create an addiction. And that is something that needs to be paid into to keep people in business. I'm not saying that with all medication. I'm not trying to wean people off of medication. They need to survive, especially heart medication and STD medication, stuff like that. But certain problems you have, you probably don't need meds as much as you just need to be aware of all of the different things that you can do in exercise and diet that can help you overall. I personally think an apple a day keeps a lot of sicknesses away. drinking water, exercise, keeping a good balance in your stress levels, sugar intake. These things are usually a much better overall practice, providing the solution for a lot of things that medication is meant to help treat. The solution is practicing good health attitude and good stress level and meditation and breath treatment and all these different things that come with just living healthy. They don't need a pill for that. You need to change your entire way of doing things. You see what I'm saying? Then overall you'll be healthy. You need to stop drinking. You need to stop smoking. You need to join the gym and sweat once every day, basically. You need a therapist so he can bring down your stress and help you understand certain things, have you assessing things better in general. These are the things that make your health better, not a pill. Right? But we're in a world where we want to throw a pill at everything. And you got multiple problems, that means you got multiple pills. Turn a person who has a few issues into a person with a lot of issues, including a pill problem. It never ends. And it's almost understood as like culture, but that culture is, it just requires people to think their way through it rather than just align with it and just fall into it. Yeah. So that's my point of view, man. I think there's a lot of solutions that can be found with just doing things organically, doing things the healthy way instead of the way we're taught to align with the culture of this type of eating, align with the culture of this type of vices. We handle our problems this way, we work like this, and we don't get healthy, and then we need a pill for everything. Nah, I'm not paying into those businesses. That's really all that is. You're paying into businesses instead of finding solutions that don't require you be a consumer of their pill. And so, and you're not learning that, nor are you being told it's cool to start thinking that way, or that it's culture for you to start thinking that way. They love to continue to regurgitate culture in our face in America. That's one thing I want to say. They get continuous suggestion of this is not good for you, but it's good that you take it. It's good that you eat it. It's good that you do it. I resent that in a different kind of way the older I get, and we talk about this at least once a week at this point. But like they continue to repetitively embed in our heads that we need to eat a certain way, that we need to drink beer, that we need to, just do certain things that don't have anything to do with health, and that we are supposed to want it, and that everyone around us wants this, and this is American culture. American culture is not necessarily good for us, but that we do things that are not good for us is what we do. And I don't find myself fine with that anymore. I resent that I was raised with that being something that it has made sense to the people in my country. And we've lost people to this same thing. Millions and millions of people have died in our country, unnecessary deaths because of this culture that continues to be fed to ourselves and our children today. I'm starting to find myself angry at that. And that's what is starting to become a thing. I'm starting to view it the way I think I'm supposed to view it, which is we're under attack. And have been under attack for a long time. And so that's what I want to tell people. Like every time I see a commercial for a greasy sandwich with a bunch of cheese and beef and all different types of stuff, every time I see a beer commercial with a big ass horse, galloping around or some stupid stuff, or a celebrity telling me I need to pay into this company that it's going to ultimately have me paying into them for the rest of my life, all these different types of things, I feel like I'm under attack at this point. I don't know how y'all feel about this stuff, but as I awaken spiritually to a love for self and a love for a higher power, I start looking at this stuff the way it's supposed to be seen. As a devilish attack upon every generation, meant to keep us broke, keep us sick, keep us influencing the people around us and that come from us the same way, pouring all types of stuff into our body that's no good for us, passing away and calling it natural causes early. No. And it's not quality of life. Making myself want things that are no good for me and then proceeding to reject the idea that I should be practicing better practices for myself. No. Our children, ourselves, all of us have been under attack for a long time. The most expensive stuff to find health-wise is the stuff you need the most. The stuff that is likely going to kill you is stuff that is very easy to get if you're poor. I could walk into a Burger King, spend $1 on something that's going to kill me if I eat it every day. But it's hard as hell to find something healthy in any of these places that have these dollar menus and all different types of stuff. I'm telling y'all, man, and then they tell us we want this stuff. They regurgitate to us that we are the ones demanding this nonsense. No, they raised us this way. They made this normal for us. None of this is any good for us. None of it's normal for us. And that we should want things that are good for us is normal for all beings, without the presence of some type of propaganda, mind control, leech entity looking to take away your life's blood and all of your money. And so that's what I'm here to tell y'all, man. Our ancestors, those of us who are black and African American and Native American, our ancestors didn't eat like this. They didn't require that for the quality of their life to have things that are meant to make them sick. That's a perversion of reality created by people who stole land and are furthermore trying to exploit the people that ultimately live in the land they've stolen. This is a colonial practice, enriched in wickedness, just like everything else they practice. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? This is not separate from those type of conversations. It is that we've been raised to believe that it is, but the reality is it's not. And we're gonna normalize having them conversations in this fashion, so that we can undo the warping of our mentality as it pertains to us welcoming things into our lives that are meant to destroy us slowly and leave us poor, leave us addicted to pills that they also sell us with different companies they own. So that's what I want to tell y'all, man. It's not normal that you use anything they give you. It's not normal that you require things that they tell you should have. They don't mean you any good. They want you to hate yourself so that you will use their doctors to cut yourselves open in all different types of weird ways, cutting your nose up, cutting your body parts up, slicing you and dicing you in all different types of ways, weird ways that are meant to exploit people's insecurities in one another and vice versa in the mirror. We can fix this, we can fix that, we can make you look like a bee, we can make you look like all different types of animals and insects if you want to. Like, just give us $100,000, we'll cut you open. Maybe you die on that cutting table, maybe you don't. But you will definitely look like something God did not create. See, this is what you should want. Like, I'm telling you, this is all demonic, this is all evil, this is all against us, man. All of it. And we've been raised by a world where all of this comes together to make us think the opposite, so that we'll continue to embrace it and furthermore be crushed by it. I mean, it's not at all different than what it is I just described there, man. That's exactly what all this is. And people who put all this together hated people. They hated deeply. They loathed people's happiness. They loathed God's creation. They loathed all of the things that are good in life, I'm telling you. And they continue to give us stuff early in life, make us want things that are absolutely terrible for us, raise our children to want things that are absolutely terrible for them. When we need to know this, and we need to stop selling this stuff to our kids, we need to stop telling our kids it's okay to want this stuff. It's not good for them. None of it is any good for them. I'm telling you, it's not. Bdf 44, I thank you all for watching. Come on.